imagine. You wouldn't imagine that 50 years ago. Okay. Things happening. You remember when Bush had when he was at the embassy, a particular embassy, was it the Iranian embassy or something? And a shoe got dashed at him. You can, you know, that shows. Okay. You remember that at the Iranian embassy? They chucked them shoes at President Bush, which he was one of the worst presidents. Some say Bill Clinton was one of the best. I don't believe he was. For that particular time, moment. Why? Because he could play what? A saxophone? Huh? No. All these nations have military might. And that's all according to prophecy. Okay? Assemble yourselves, come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together. So all these nations, they're going to be gathering. Okay? They're going to be gathering for that war. They're going to be getting busy. Okay? And part of that gathering is gathering up certain missile system in certain radiuses. Russia, they've got certain spots in Europe. See? But America also have particular spots in Europe where they have set up their military might. Can you see how this is? Okay. So this thing is going to be a lot of fire. It's going to be a lot of fire. You know, it's going to be a lot of distress. And that's why repentance is an everyday thing. You so-called Negros, Hispanics, and Indianos, repent. Because I don't want to get burnt up. I don't want to die the death of the wicked. You really want to teach this word and die no, see, that's why you've got to be sincere about what you're doing as well. Okay? Give a cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh Shai. So when it says cause thy mighty ones to come down, that's referring to what? The angels. Okay. And them angels are what? In control of their missiles. Okay. Let the heathen be wakened and come upon the valley of Jehoshaphat. So when we speak of the valley of Jehoshaphat, look it up. Because sometimes we tell you things, but you got to look it up for yourself. The scriptures talk about a prudent man studying. Study to show thyself approved. Okay? So that valley of Jehoshaphat is what? The region of what? Kidron Valley. Okay? Where all nations are going to be gathered. Okay? And it looks like a small region, but obviously it's not a small region, because if it was a small region, if that was the case, then how would all nations be gathered here? So it's actually a big region, but it appears to be small. Okay? And come unto the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So again, all these nations are going to be what? Gathered into that region to be judged. That's why it's called Jehoshaphat. When you actually break it in the Hebrew, it's Yahweh Shaphat. So when you go into that word Shaphat, what does that word Shaphat mean? That word Shaphat means to judge. So all the nations are being brought there to be judged. Okay? It's not that they want to do it. It's not that they want to do it. It's they're being brought down to that region to be judged. Why? Because that's the Lord's will. Okay? I will sit to judge the heathen round about. Okay? Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come ye, get ye down. So when you're putting in the sickle, because the harvest is ripe. Okay? It's ready. Okay? Come, get ye down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. So the fats have overflowed, that wickedness is great. It's exceeding. And it's risen up what? Remember what it was mentioned in Sodom. The cry of the wickedness was what? Up to the Heavenly Father, because the angels are marking everything down. So every part of wickedness is being marked down by how I should have done. Okay, we need to go on. Okay. See what else we've got. Verse 14, multitudes in the valley of decision. So when it says multitudes means many. Multitudes of what? Nations. Okay, in the valley of decision. Okay. So that final decision is going to be waged in what? Middle East. Okay, the valley of Kidron, the valley of tombs. Okay. The valley of judgment. Okay. The day of the Lord Jehovah is near. Okay. In the valley of decision. Okay. So the day of the heathens is there. So don't worry about these other nations that are oppressing you. All these other nations that are oppressing you, they're going to be brought down to the what? The valley of decision. Okay, to be judged according to the scriptures. All these nations are going to be gathered into that one region, which is the Middle East, for that final World War III. For the day of the Lord Jehovah is near. Okay. In the valley of decision. Okay. In the valley of decision. So it's clear cut what's going to happen. Okay. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Why is that going to happen? Because the missiles are going to block out the stars. The missiles are going to block out the moon. Okay. That's why. It's going to be a very dark time. And the scriptures say that. Shall not the day of the Lord Jehovah shall be darkness and not light? Scriptures tell us these things. Okay? It's going to be a very dark time. Spiritually and physically. Okay? And the Lord Jehovah also shall roar out of Zion, Jerusalem, because he's coming, it tells you he's coming to the east, to the west. Okay? And utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens shall shake. So all these heavens are going to shake. They're going to quake. Okay? Scriptures tell you in Isaiah what? 24. The earth shall rule to and fro. So what's going to make the earth to rule to and fro? The missiles. Okay. But the Lord Jehovah will be the hope of his people. So Jehovah is going to be the hope for his people. What? The hope of salvation for his people, not for everybody. Because salvation is what? Exclusive. It's only pertaining to a certain amount of men. Even in the nation of Israel, you have what? A remnant. You have the salvation for a remnant. 144,000 men, women and children, which we hope to be of ourselves. Okay? So where was I? Well, verse 17. So shall you know that I am the Lord Jehovah thy power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Wherein shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. So you're not going to have no more heathens passing through our land anymore. Strangers are going to be under subjection. They're going to be in our land. Okay. But as today, what? You got strangers passing through our land. Cushites, you know, and all these other nations. Okay. Bear me just a minute. And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains, okay, shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk. This is exciting, just thinking about it. New wine. So the wine we're drinking now is all messed up. It's got sulfites. It's rubbish. Unless you pay 50 or 30 pounds, we're going to be drinking new wine, fresh wine. Okay, fresh grapes. Okay, and the hills shall flow with milk. Even the hills are going to be flowing with milk. Okay, that's fresh. We're going to have an abundance. Rivers, water, and we're going to be drinking fresh water as well. Fresh H2O water. Okay, not this water you got right now that's in a bottle, that's really tap water, that's destroying your pineal gland. Okay, we're going to be drinking that pure water. Okay, H2O. Okay, we're going to be drinking through them rivers. Okay, we're not going to be drinking water with chemicals in it. Okay, wait until saying those parts. Our food's going to be clean. The food we're drinking ain't going to be defiled. Okay, there ain't going to be no GMO. Okay, everything's going to be fresh. Everything is going to be made brand new. Everything. Okay, we're not going to need to worry about looking at the packaging. Has this got pork in it? Has that got that in it? No. Everything's going to be refreshed, renewed. And this is what we're fighting for. For everything to be renewed, for everything to be, you know what I mean? That's what we're fighting for. Let's go to Revelations. Spare me just a minute. Now we're going to go to 2nd Ezra 16. Up the show. Revelations. Spare me just a minute. I'm thinking about so much different scriptures. Let's go to 2nd Ezra. Bear me just a minute. I believe it's 13. Oh man, is that page is it missing? Bear me just a minute. Good man. Oh no, I've got it. This is 2nd Ezra 13. And it came to pass after 7 days. Okay. 7. Okay. I dreamed a dream by night. Okay. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea. So what was that wind from the sea? That was Yahweh Shai. Okay. Yahweh Shai was that wind from the sea. Okay. And it moved all the waves thereof. Okay, so the waves are the different nations. Okay, that's what the waves represent. Remember when we read in Jeremiah, it talked about the waters. You see where if you have understanding where these scriptures, where everything correlates. Okay, remember where it says abundant in treasures that's sitting upon many waters. So the nations represent what? Waters, and the wind represents Yahweh Shai. Okay. And that it moved all the waves thereof, the other nations. Okay. And I beheld, and lo, that man that strung with the thousands of heaven, which is speaking of Yahweh Shai. Okay. Who people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. His real name was Yahweh Shai. He was a dark-skinned man. Okay. And it moved, and it moved all the waves. And behold, lo, that man that strung with the thousands of heaven. So when it says that man that strung with the thousands of heaven, what's the thousands of heaven talking about? The angels. Okay. That's who Yahweh Shai was waxing strong with. Okay. And to wax means to increase. So if you're waxing in strength, that means you're increasing in strength. If you're waxing in strength. Okay. Because Yahweh Shai says, I will not meet thee as a man. Yahweh Shai ain't coming to meet you as a man. He's coming as an angelic force. And you ain't going to be able to put hands on it like you did 2,000 years ago. He's coming as a force. How can you stop an angelic force? You can't stop that. And that's why we're going to read, you're going to have NATO that tries to fight against these armies. Okay? Let me check the time. Plenty of time. We're going to have NATO that tries to fight against Yahushua. Okay, but they're going to fail miserably. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. So it says everything trembled. So wherever Yahushua looked, everything trembled, including the mountains, because it tells you that in Psalms about the mountains quaking through Yahushua's presence. It tells you that. Okay. And wherever he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. All things trembled. Okay? Everything trembled that was seen under him. That's the power of it. See, that's what you call a true God, a true power. You're able to look at things and make things tremble. Yeah, you don't even got to say a word. You can just look and that thing's tremble. That's power. That's power. Okay? All things trembled that were seen under him. So everything trembled, not something, everything that was seen under him. Okay. That's the real definition of what? Power. Okay. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth. Okay. Whensoever